Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another figure video and a very exciting figure video at that. Today we're going to be taking a look at the top 5 best figures of 2020. That's right, holy cow. Dragon Ball has had some absolute fire in terms of figures this year, some of which I own, some of which I don't, which I'm hoping to own in 2021. But today we're going to take a look at all of it. I am so excited for this video because I don't have to complain like I did in the last one. But if you haven't checked out top 5 worst figures of 2020, please definitely go check that out. Now, before we get into things here, I am going to go over the rules. These are basically the same as it was in the worst figure video. So if you're familiar with those, it'll be basically the same concept, just a little bit different because obviously, you know, worst and best type of memes. So let's get into it here. Rules. Number 1. I need to own the figure for it to count for this list. In my personal opinion, I cannot judge a figure perfectly unless I have it in my hand. I'm not able to look at the specific little nitty-gritty details of the figure unless I'm actually holding it, moving it around, stuff like that. So I feel that it's unfair to judge simply based on production images and finals and stuff like that. It's a little bit different with in-hand picks, but you still don't get the same experience of actually owning the figure, right? So for this list, I feel like that the figure needs to be in my hand. Now, that being said, number 2 is that the honorable mentions are all going to be figures that I either own and haven't opened yet or would love to get. There are some figures that would have most likely topped this list in a nanosecond if it wasn't for the fact that I either didn't have them yet or haven't opened them up yet. So those are going to be saved for the honorable mentions, and boy, I can't wait to talk about those boys. Now, rule number 3, I am going to cheat a little bit in terms of the release date. When I was originally coming up for the concept for this video, I was thinking, did I want to do figures that I reviewed in 2020 or did I want to do figures that were released in 2020? And in the end, I decided on figures that were released in 2020 because in that mindset, it makes a little bit more sense for the sake of this list. So that's what we're going to do here. I am going to cheat a little bit though on some of the dates for these figures. The unfortunate thing about some of these guys is that they did have some delays getting to me because of current world events, so I wasn't able to either open them up or receive them by the time that, you know, well, they were supposed to in 2019. And some of these figures technically did have a 2019 release date, but they had a 2020 US release date, where the 2019 release date was in Japan. So we're going to count them, and I reviewed them in 2020 anyway. Under better circumstances, they would have all been, you know, not needing a technicality and all have been released in 2020. But we live in the year 2020. What are you going to do? So that is how things are going to go today. I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. Let's go ahead and get started with the goods, baby. Alright, to start off with some honorable mentions here, we do have an actual plethora of figures because there were so many great figures released this year, even though there were also a ton of really stinky ones. Bandai was very 50-50 this year. They had a ton of really great stuff and a ton of really bad stuff, but in terms of really good stuff, it was like really good. To start us off, we're going to talk about the figure that probably would have topped this list if I actually owned it, and I do think that it is shipping to my house. I ordered it somewhere and I don't actually know when it's coming in, so whenever I get my hands on that, you could be sure that a review of that will be coming. But it is the Super Master Stars piece, Bam Presto, World Figure Coliseum, End of Z Goku. Holy cow, in my opinion, this might just be the best Dragon Ball figure ever made. Officially, of course. It is insane, the amount of detail on this guy, the amount of passion and care that went into this figure, the amount of quality control that went into this figure. This is truly a Super Master Stars piece figure, not any of that Gogeta garbage that we got. That may or may not be in the worst figure video, by the way. But nonetheless, this is literally like a clash of the two commies, bro. Bam Presto World Figure Coliseum, known for having some of the best Dragon Ball figures in terms of prize figures. Super Master Stars Peace, some of the historically best quality in terms of Dragon Ball figures coming together in one beautiful figure. That being this End of Z Goku. I absolutely love this figure. I could gush on and on about this thing for hours, literally. But I will save that for the video when I inevitably get it. So definitely keep an eye out for that figure. Another fantastic figure that we got this year was the Ichiban Kuji Omnibus Ozaru Vegeta. This guy is so good, boys. This guy is so good. From the original production images, the original promo images to the finals, this guy stayed consistently so good. This figure is amazing. This guy is obviously giant. He's around the size of the golden Ozaru from Vegeta. Excuse me, I'm literally tripping over my words because I'm so excited about this ape, bro. From the golden Ozaru from the greatest Saiyan Ichiban Kuji, around that kind of size. Also, like King Cluster Broly is another good size comparison. He's really big, and the amount of detail that they were able to put on this figure is amazing. Shading, little battle damage, you know, the fur on Vegeta, the like look of his Saiyan armor. It's absolutely incredible. This figure, unfortunately, was not released overseas, and oh, I've never been so disappointed. I need to get my hands on this. Someday I'll just bite the, you know, the proverbial, you know, and pick it up on eBay. Probably I'm going to have to drop a pretty penny on it, but I don't even care, bro. It is 100% worth it for this figure. Absolutely fantastic figure this year. Another great figure from the Omnibus Kuji was actually the Jiren figure. This guy I wanted to include in my honorable mentions because he was such a big surprise for me. Originally, when I saw the figure, I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, but I think I'll stick with the Rasuden Jiren, which is also a pretty good figure, all things considered. But I saw not only the absolute size of this massive unit, the detailing on the figure, and just the way that it looks overall is so good. I really like this Jiren. I don't know, like, what it is about it specifically, the muscle definition, the sculpt, the paint, it's just good. It's just so good. It was a very nice surprise. The only gripe that I could give with this guy is his not his shoulders, his elbows rather, are very pointy. There is, I think, like one specific Dragon Ball sculptor, or so, I don't know, someone at Bandai likes to make some pointy elbows occasionally, which is kind of a little bit weird, but I don't think it takes away from the overall, you know, amazingness of this particular Jiren figure. Moving on from the homie Jiren, we did have the Legends Collab Yardrat Goku. This was a very exciting figure to get this year because obviously we have not had a Yardrat Goku figure in, like, I don't know. I literally can't remember ever having one, at least a prize figure one. It was very cool that the Dragon Ball Legends line came to us. I believe it started in 2019, may have been 2018. But it has brought us some fantastic figures. So Super Saiyan Goku from that line, the Goku Black from that line, and the newest addition to the cast, the Yardrat Goku. It looks so good. Obviously, that is such an iconic look for Goku that he doesn't get enough love of in figure form by any stretch of the imagination. So it is awesome to be able to see that man in the Yardrat outfit. And a very good sculpt overall. The face was changed a little bit from the original production images, but I think that the final one still looks fantastic. And to cap us off for our honorable mentions, how could I not mention some Varrock sculpted figures and some figures that Varrock had a hand in? We actually technically have 3 to talk about under this little Varrock umbrella. By himself, he did design another fantastic GX materia figure. He has been absolutely decimating the game with that line. This year we got the Super Saiyan 2 father-son Kamehameha Gohan. This figure I was unfortunately not able to get my hands on during this year because of all the shipping delays. But this guy is great sculpt. Love the look of the Kamehameha. Absolutely fantastic Gohan figure rather. Sorry. And the GX material line has just been really good. The homie Varrock is doing great work. And the other figure that he had a hand in, as well as a few other sculptors, was the, I never can still pronounce it to this day, but the Ikiden, I think is how you pronounce it. It's just so weird seeing a vowel at the beginning of a word. But the Ikiden, Goku and Gohan, the So adorable double set of the Gohan and Goku, with the Goku putting his hand on Gohan's head. So good and so adorable. We definitely don't get enough figures of Goku and Gohan together. It is an absolutely adorable figure. They did such a good job with this one. As well, we barely ever get any figures of Gohan in this particular outfit. The Piccolo outfit, right, with the longer hair. We actually only got one figure this year too, with the small little baby Namek Gohan with the little bowl cut that he's got on, that being the last one figure with the Krillin. But this figure is so good. I don't even want to like call them separate figures, even though they technically are, but they're so good together, bro. Absolutely adorable. That is another figure that I have on the way right now that I unfortunately didn't get a chance to take a look at because of shipping delays. But fantastic figure. Can't wait to get my hands on that. Kicking off this list at number 5, we have the BOS Super Saiyan God Vegeta. This guy was released in early 2020 and is extremely notable because he is actually the first Super Saiyan God Vegeta prize figure that we ever received. This guy is a really cool figure. One of my favorite in the BOS line, if I had to say. His sculpt is really great on his body, and I love the way that they captured the look of the Broly movie with this figure. Of course, this is his Broly movie armor, and the way that they made it look with the shading and giving some lighter blue spots and some darker blue spots looks really good. I think his face is also pretty good. It could be a little bit better in my opinion. At some angles, it looks a little bit funny, like this looks pretty good. This looks a little bit odd, but then like this, it looks like Vegeta a ton, you know? But definitely not bad, all things considered. I love the detail on his neck. Kind of interesting that his head is a little bit kind of loose there, but obviously, overall, this is a really good looking figure. And of course, being the Super Saiyan God Vegeta figure that we got first, he definitely deserves a spot on this list. Muscle definition is really good, and I love the way that they did the gloves on this figure. They made it look like that he's actually wearing them rather than them just kind of being like sculpted as a separate piece. Even the hands are pretty well sculpted. I love it when they do that, right? When they give this little bit of extra fabric on the look. They did that as well with the boots too, which is another really great thing about this sculpt. Fantastic Vegeta figure, if I do say so myself. I really enjoy this figure. This is actually in my Dragon Ball Super Broly setup on one of my shelves in my room. Definitely deserving of the number 5 spot. You are, Vegeta. You are not number 1, but we'll get there. At number 4, we have the Dokkan Battle 5th Anniversary LR Gogeta Blue. This guy, of course, being released around the time of the 5th anniversary, and in honor of it, is a fantastic prize figure and a fantastic representation of Gogeta Blue. This is such a nice figure, even if you're not into Dokkan Battle. Oh my gosh, let's take the base off real quick. Sorry, nails on a chalkboard. Such a good sculpt on this Gogeta figure. I absolutely love this figure. The face sculpt as well is really good. I don't think it is perfect, but it's just so close to being right there, and I do really like it. It's good. It's really good. I like it a lot. And the hair tuft at the front as well looks really good. Obviously, they have it coming out of his actual, you know, hairline there, which looks really cool. The detail on the jacket is nice. I love the little cuts in the puffs. They did a great job making the coat feel like it's moving. Muscle definition is nice. Pants look is very nice. I love the look of the obi flowing very nice as well. And of course, you gotta love it when Bandai gives you a unique base for a figure. We don't like to talk about bases too often because they're not, you know, indicative of the figure's quality. But this one is almost a whole figure with its base, which is awesome because most of the time the base kind of feels like a separate piece, whereas this almost feels like the whole figure, obviously mimicking LR Gogeta's Blue art. I go back and forth all the time between whether I like this guy better or Grandista Gogeta Blue, because they are both fantastic Gogeta Blue figures, and in my opinion, the best ones that we've had so far. Such a good figure, and as well, a super iconic pose from the movie. Coming in at number 3, we have the Dokkan Battle Majin Vegeta. Released at the tail end of 2019 in Japan and released in 2020 here in the States. This is a absolutely fantastic figure. Oh my gosh, this sculpt is amazing. Just look at this bad boy right here. If you ever wanted a high quality Majin Vegeta figure, this is it right here. Look at the definition on his bulging veins. Look at the fantastic paint on the M. Look at the great Majin Buu Saga styling of the dirtier yellow hairstyle. It's so good. And the gi as well looks perfect. Of course, it's Vegeta's, one-piece blue suit that he wears in the Buu Saga. And not to mention, bro, lightning to boot. Are you kidding me? This is such a great figure. I absolutely love this Majin Vegeta. The expression as well is literally perfect for Majin Vegeta. Look at that angry boy right there. So good. My only complaints with this figure, and honestly why it doesn't rank any higher, is A, as unfortunate as it is, you really can't see the face unless you're looking from this angle. The lightning kind of blocks it there. They maybe could have made it a little bit shorter. But his lightning is very loose. That is the one thing that kind of stinks about this guy, is that I literally just moved that one. I don't know if you saw that off frame. Yeah. The lightning falls out. It's falling off, bro. The lightning is way too loose on this guy. They should have made the connectors a little bit tighter, and some of them fit in a little bit kind of all things considered, like you can see on his top shoulder there. But despite all of that, the sculpt is amazing, and the fact that the lightning is there is even just like an extra bonus. And the nice thing is too, you don't even really notice the connections on the figure, right? Because of course it's all kind of relegated to the back. And even though it is a 3D object, it's still kind of like, even if you're displaying it like this, of course the stand's going to be there. It's not as noticeable. Of course it's a little bit more noticeable with like lighter tones, but with the darker tones it's not as bad. But this guy deserves it bar none. It is such a good Majin Vegeta figure, and I literally just can't get enough of him. And on the topic of bases as well, this is another one of those figures where the base actually feels like part of the figure, because we have this beautiful Dokkan Battle base here. It's kind of hard to capture it on camera because of course it is like clear plastic, but you can see it with the ring light. Beautiful. Mine has a little bit of a oh, look at that. Regardless, though, beautiful base, beautiful figure. This Majin Vegeta absolutely knocks it out of the park. Now, you probably heard me say something like the connections on the Majin Vegeta were not that good. So wait, does that mean yes? At number 2, we have the Super Saiyan 2 Dokkan Battle Goku. I swear I don't have a Dokkan Battle bias for figures. I know it's gonna bad come off like that in this video, but I promise you, it's just that these three happen to be absolutely disgustingly good in terms of sculpt this year. Super Saiyan 2 Goku is a fantastic rendition of the character, capturing the Buu Saga likeness basically perfectly, and the lightning is just an added bonus. Of course, this figure pairs with the Majin Vegeta, and it looks so good. This is such a good, like, angry face for Goku. It looks really good, because that's the thing, right? A lot of sculptors can get Goku faces where he's just smiling, but it's harder to get Goku faces in, like, a more dynamic facial expression, and I think that this figure does an absolutely fantastic job of it. Even just looking at the gi, you can see all the little detail in the scratches and in the battle damage all along the orange section here. It's absolutely fantastic. I love the look of this figure. The hair sculpt is perfect as well, obviously giving us that iconic, more spiky Super Saiyan 2 hair look. It looks really good. And the halo as well too is very nice. I like the color that they went with. I do kind of prefer when they do translucent halos a little bit more, which is ironic considering the lightning is translucent on the man. But it still looks fantastic nonetheless, and I love when they connect it this way instead of just doing like a stick at the top, where they connect it to the back of a hairpiece so it looks like it's actually floating there. It definitely gives that illusion. You can't really even tell that it was plugged in, right? Such a nice looking figure. I absolutely love this Super Saiyan 2 Goku figure. He of course pairs fantastically with Majin Vegeta, and his lightning pieces actually stay in very well. I have never had a problem of even like, you know, poking this and having them fall out or whatever. Really good. Very fantastic sculpt. Body looks good. I literally can't say enough praises about this Super Saiyan 2 Goku. This is probably, you know, besides, I don't know if I could say it's my favorite Super Saiyan Goku, or my favorite Goku figure of the year, but it's up there for sure. Obviously, Super Master Stars Peace one is so good too, but, oh man, I love this figure. Real quick, before we get to number one thing I wanted to say about the Goku and the Vegeta together is that what I really like as well about the lightning is not just that it brings more presence to the figure, it also kind of draws your eyes to the areas of the figure that you're supposed to be looking at, and the way that it wraps around the two individual figures kind of just makes everything come together and focuses your eyes where it needs to be on the figure. I think that that is really cool and a great use of effects. And coming in at number one, it couldn't be anybody else. It had to be him, the leader, the teacher of the Turtle School. That's right, it's Muten-Rush-sama. Oh my gosh, I looked forward to this figure literally all year, and Bandai did not disappoint. This is a absolutely fantastic figure. This is peak Bandai right here. This figure is beautiful. This belongs in an art museum. So good. This figure is absolutely fantastic, from the small sculpted detail to the look of the clothing being baggy and the way that it looks like it's just sagging and it's naturally there, to the fact that we even got a Jackie Chun head at all. I still can't believe that this is on the figure. Like, that is amazing to me. The overall look of this figure is just so good. It even stands on its own without the stand, which is pretty impressive. I'm going to leave it to the side for now. Clear base as well. I know I've been saying throughout this whole video I'm not going to talk about bases, but I have been. So whatever. Clear base, bro. Fantastic. Great for these figures that just kind of stand on their own and don't really need another base and just need some support. Not just the Jackie Chun head, but we as well got 2 extra heads, which wasn't even necessary to include. We of course got this fantastic Master Roshi with glasses. Unfortunately, mine did have a little QC issue right there, but not too bad. That was specifically only on my copy that I saw. And a shouting Master Roshi head as well. Very, very cool stuff here. Great sculpting on all of the heads. Even though they have this nasty line at the top, right? I still think that the overall sculpt of this is just so good. Despite this figure's small flaws with my QC issue and the bald line on the head, it looks good. I as well love displaying it with the Jackie Chun head. It's one of my favorite versions of Master Roshi, and obviously Jackie Chun is more commonly associated with this outfit, even though Master Roshi does wear this outfit when he's not in his Jackie Chun form, right? It still looks great with Jackie Chun, and I think it is an absolutely fantastic figure. I love this figure so much that I've literally had it sitting on my desk since I opened it. Not many figures get the pleasure of sitting on my desk because they're that good. But this guy has earned this title, bar none, of being the best figure of 2020. 100%. I don't even know, like, what else I could say besides just, like, look at it. It's so good. It's absolutely fantastic. This right here, peak Dragon Ball, bro. The pose is fantastic. The sculpt is fantastic. I love it. I love it so much. I'm not, you know what? The foot base can stay off, bro. That just shows how good he is. You don't even need the base to stand up. Oh, Master Roshi, man. Who would have thought that Master Roshi would take the #1 spot? Not in a million years, bro. And that's it. That is going to do it for the top 5 figures of 2020. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had an absolute blast recording it, and of course I had an absolute blast taking a look at all of these fantastic figures this year. We have had some great stuff come from Bandai this year, and I cannot wait to see what more 2021 holds, because there is also some great stuff that we've already seen coming up in 2021. If you would like to purchase any of these beautiful boys, links to all of them will be in the description below. Of course, I will be bringing down not only my Amazon affiliate links, so if you buy them through there, I get a little bit of a cut with no extra cost to you. I'll also see if I can't find some other links in case any of these guys seem to be overpriced on Amazon. If you would like to support me on Patreon, I make more content like this. I do figure unboxings. I do Dokkan battle. I would love to be able to do some more figure unboxings, and the Patreon would definitely help with that. So if you would like to support or just give some other general support, definitely feel free to, but please don't be pressured. Obviously, this is a crazy time right now, and everybody needs all the dough that they can get in their pocket. But let me know what you thought of my best list. Let me know what you thought of my worst list as well. I thought that I had some pretty good picks for this year. Of course, you know, I was kind of a little bit sad that I couldn't take a look at some of the figures that I wanted to simply because of shipping delays, but it is what it is. They will get to the house eventually, and I will gush over them even more eventually. Thank you guys so much for watching, though. Please have yourselves a great rest of 2020. Have a very happy new year, and I will catch you in the next one. Dokkan Assets out. Peace.